So, episode 24 of Oxyotl is upon us, and we have a valiant defeat prediction with Chocomel and Kroak as reinforcements against a couple of Tomb King's armies that doesn't make sense that they have such a high value in auto-resolve. Well, they have a lot of single entities there with the higher titans. But yeah, that has to be it. But I disagree. I disagree with this with Lord Kroak there. You're gonna see why. So we have a choke point battle. I'm trying to see if they were going to attack. So I'm defending with my Chameleon Kings there. The Stalkers are, of course, with a nice line with the Kroak to defend. You know, just basically waiting for them to engage through the bridges, and then I'll attack them. But if they won't, and I forgot my Dread Saurian here. Sorry. He can catch up. He has time. And of course, if he waits for his reinforcements, which likely he will, I'll also receive my own reinforcements and then change a little bit how the battle is going to go and the deployment how it's going to go. But let's watch the battle. Likely I'm going to put the Temple Guard and Kroak from the reinforcements in front, which is precisely what happened. You can see that the Tomb Kings are only now starting to go through the bridges, a few at a time only. He's bringing in the units against this. By the way, sometimes it's going to lag. The reason for that is because I didn't have my fans working. I can assure you it doesn't happen every time. But yeah, Sacred Kroak, they have magical attacks, so you can imagine how against the ethereal units it's going to be real easy for them. And it's something that typically you don't consider, is the fact that they have magical attacks, so that's why a composition of Temple Guard and Kroak does so much for any front line. But of course, this is a battle with Lord Kroak, and when Lord Kroak sees a massive gathering of units, what does he do? He goes boom. That's what he does. Let me see. I'm dying anticipation. Here it comes. Here it goes. Okay, Lord Kroak, he's 0 kills, and suddenly he's gonna have... Oh my god, that's 80k damage. Okay, that's 6,800 damage as gold value, but that's 80k damage one spell. Yeah, and then another one that I whiffed. Sorry. Yeah, I missed that. How much was that? It wasn't as much. Because I was laughing when I did this. I honestly just misclicked the second spell. I was like, oh god, this feels so cheesy. But okay, it's how it works. And yet, they called for it by having all this army full of constructs. So, my Salamanders and Razordons and Chameleon Skinks are, of course, raging fire or raining fire over anything that they can muster, which is good. It reminds me of the old battles in Medieval 2, where you just use the spears to hold, or the hoplites to hold the line. Not Medieval 2, on Rome 1, to hold the bridge while your archers destroy everything. So yeah. Although I gotta say, the Tomb Kings have about the most aesthetically pleasing roster. It just everything feels so cool on it. It's just ridiculous. If I was playing tabletop, likely I would play with the Tomb Kings if that was possible. I know that sometimes it isn't possible depending on the rules and everything, or depending on the current state of events, but yeah. Tomb Kings just look so freaking cool. I mean, look at those units. I was never so sad of destroying enemies. But yeah, Temple Guard and Kroak defend against these guys just fine. And then all of your missile units can rain fire, as you can see. In this moment, one thing that I noticed is that I'm not attacking those 4-5 units that are on the outskirts raining fire on us, the Bone Giants and everything, which they were hitting my Dread Saurian. So that's why the Dread Saurian is going to have like almost no health after this battle. Oh, I swear to you, I never saw the animation from Lord Kroak attacking. Are you kidding me? I have 4,000 hours on this game. I never saw the animation here. Well, I don't always watch him, so that's the thing. I typically just watch his spells. Huh, that's interesting. It's a nice animation, actually. It's quite cool. But yeah, as soon as I start sending in my units, that was enough for them to flee in terror. The bone giants know what's gonna happen, so they just start disintegrating. And yep, that's a victory, and that's quite a comfortable, close victory if I'm not mistaken. Even decisive, perhaps. Let me see, I can't remember. It says spheric victory? Oh yeah, because 10k damage on Lord Kroak, 1300 kills. Yeah, because my Dread Saurian got 0 kills. He got some value, but literally he was just an arrow cushion, you know, which is good because everyone else just did their job because he's absorbing every single fire, and that was basically from everything, from the bone giants, from the Ushapti great bows. So yeah, that's definitely, sometimes that's what you can ask for, you know. So yeah, decisive defeat here, that's fine because that's a small settlement. I was thinking of maybe fighting this one out and trying to get to the... If I had summons, I think I can fight it out. I think I can fight it out actually. So, but I'm not going to show that. But basically managed to kill a couple of units, yes, so I just used every single unit against the ones that they had. And because they split, they got like 3 kills, I guess. So that's cool. That means that army is going to have to wait and reinforce. So what can I get here? Okay, I'm going to leave room for the other building there. Because I'm dismantling one, it's going to be for the geomantic building. It's a big problem for the Lism, and it's how their buildings work. It really... It's not even Warhammer 2. It reminds me of Warhammer 1. They feel like a Warhammer 1 with their race, with their mechanics. They were never that interesting in Warhammer 2. So I'm in terms of mechanics. So I'm not very interested in seeing their rework. And in fact, it's one of the races that has everything to be really cool, because basically their armies they're already really cool. So yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go over to this sanctum with Oxyotl. And then maybe he can go against Clan Moors. I don't know if I should go for it or not. Let me go for some pit. I'm gonna approach it as much as possible. Sometimes it bugs out if you have it selected, by the way. But I'm just gonna move here. Okay, he can reach it. Yeah, valiant defeat, but I can circle, I can send the other guy in, and likely it's going to be a close victory or even a decisive one with 2 armies against it. Either way, likely I'm going to out-resolve it. I've been out-resolving a lot, but for the most part it's just because otherwise I'll be in episode 50 on this campaign. You know, this is episode... For episode 24, I'm already on turn 114, which is... kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Usually these campaigns take me a lot longer. So of course I've been skipping a lot. I should invest a lot more on the spells for this guy, and it's one of the things. I'm investing a lot on the blue line, and it's paying off in terms of having more armies, of course, but in detriment of not exploring what I wanted initially, which is, you know, just getting red line, getting a few spell points, and going for the spell points there. But of course I'm using the skink priests, mainly of beasts and of everything to do it, you know? So yeah. Alright. So... What can I do? I was thinking I could go in over here to Dreamcorax, but I don't have enough move points. I'm going to have to engage with Oxyotl. So that's why I tried to move those armies and see if I could. Can I reach there with this guy? I think I barely can. I'm going to have to force march him, though. Okay. Or should I just teleport? I think I can teleport him. So I'm wondering, because I really wanted to continue the pursuit. I think I decided at the time that 2 turns were more than enough for me to go there, but it wasn't. Yeah. Right, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to continue our conquests here. Overall, it does seem like the Tomb Kings were just trying to spread out against the Kroak, and that helped me a lot because, of course, their armies are nowhere to be seen to defend their settlements, and I can quickly do a land grab, which is really a good thing and a bad thing. This is something that the aggressive AIs do. So you see like AIs with 30 settlements or so, and you gotta count that they're mostly having all their armies on one location. They're attacking one location, and they are leaving the rest of their territory quite undefended. So it's also one of the things, like, if people want it to be a little bit more aggressive, you gotta count that it would also have some issues there, you know? Okay, Lord Kroak. Yeah, I'm gonna give him the passives. That's fine. He can do that. He has earned it with his 10k damage battle. And I'm now focusing a lot more on red line skills. That's something that I wanted to show you. So I gotta make a video next time. This is one thing that I want to do, which is to make a video on how I'm planning lords and heroes and armies before the campaign, and then the adjustments during the campaign, you know, because sometimes you're gonna adjust during the campaign to stuff like I'll plan out some armies, and then for whatever reason sometimes just I don't have that building yet, or I forgot that I needed the armory for this building, you know, for this unit. So all of those things come together to the point where, oh, I gotta assemble an army, so I gotta put this army in. Like, this is not an army that I would imagine, but it is an army that happened because I got so many blessed units of that type. So that's sort of the idea that you go with, that I would go with, trying to say, this is the army that I got prepared, this is the army that I actually got because of the blessed units. And of course you can never predict the blessed units, so that's what typically happens. Where's Morgrim? Okay, I think I need the armory here for the skinks. Yeah, there we go. And oh yeah, the Queek's assassins are a big problem. That's why I gotta eliminate him, because he's been taking out my heroes all the time. I'm glad I did that thing of giving them the names so that I can recognize where they ought to have been. So let's check. Oh, Last Defend is barely able to do that. Oh, it's because of the faction strength. I should have left the Tomb Kings fight them a little bit more. That was ridiculous. You know, this is something that sometimes you don't realize, you know? So, skipping a little bit ahead, of course. Skipping some turns ahead. Not some turns, so just some time ahead. And, yeah, the Tomb Kings seem to have like 5-6 armies there. Already defeated a few of them. I'm sending Oxyotl here, but I don't even feel like I'm gonna need him. Maybe I'm gonna need him here so I can send him back. Yeah, to Death Gorge. It doesn't have a garrison, so yeah, definitely I need to send him back here. And gonna try to capture some of these places. Like Kroak, for instance, this lord, he doesn't have exactly an army, neither does this one. This is just literally just some skinks, because we like to have fun. What I'm doing here is just releasing one point so that I can give him his caster. 1 unit, actually. Sorry. And I'm going to attack that settlement. That's good. It only has 9 units. Oh, I thought it was a massive settlement, so yeah. But overall, everything is going well. I'm going to recover the Misty Mountain, which was lost because Queek is a treacherous dude. And by dude, I mean rat. And yeah, that's a big problem, of course, always. I'm thinking. I think I'll be able to completely control this area from the followers of Nagash very soon. Actually, this should take me like 7 turns, and I'm counting just, it's mostly just walking past, you know? But that will depend, for instance, on battles such as this one. So if I can fight this battle with Lord Kroak and do a good job as well here. So auto-resolve kills me 1 unit. Oh, now it gets... but it is the same place. So yeah, definitely, let's fight. So this time is the opposite, because we are attacking. So I'm sending in my Chameleon Skinks to attack the Casket of Souls there, which was very oddly placed. And I'm sending in my units over there. I'm gonna swarm on that bridge. If he tries to cross it, likely Lord Crocker will have a word about that. But I'm going to send in my other army to defend on this side if he chooses to flank me. If he flanks me immediately, then it's fine. So my solar engines, my Bastillodon engines, and my Chameleon Skinks are going to attack here, the Casket of Souls. And if you think that the artillery is bad for your Chameleon Skinks, you're forgetting the Chameleon Skinks have 40 missile resistance. I think they have more now, and I can even use the shield of the old ones, which I will, just to avoid further damage, actually. Which is something that Lord Kroak can give, like a 40 ward save. It's ridiculous. It's so good, actually. And the Casket of Souls is nearly dead, so that's great. Look at that. Giving that, and suddenly look what he did. He did a Tomb Swarm, while I have 40 damage resistance. Oh, AI. Thank you so much for making me look clever. I swear, this was just to prevent the damage from, you know, the archers, the Shapti Great Bows that you see there, the Casket of Souls, but it ended up being way better. It made me look super cool. Well, that was a nice defensive spell. And now the enemy is quite vulnerable to my Chameleon Skinks, who can just go into the water where they love to be and attack these Ushapti, these Tomb... the Tomb Guards are, well, they have a massive shield, so it's not like I'm doing well. I think I was trying to snipe a few entities there and health from the Ushapti Great Bows, but I'll leave that to my Bastillodons. Can they hit? They barely can. Look at that. Line of sight, right there. There we go. Bam! Oh, he lifted up? Okay, they can survive 1 shot. That's interesting. I didn't know. I thought they couldn't. And the Bastillodons keep firing, but so do my... Oh, you know what that is. You know what that is. Did I time it well? I did. I kind of timed it well. That's 2 units, 3, 4 units. Okay. That was nice. It's not the best one, but that immediately helps me to focus down his main character. On the other front, we have my Kroxigors arriving to deal with Hex Wraiths, and that's perfect for them. Hex Wraiths, of course, anti-infantry units, not modeled to fight monstrous infantry, and they are ethereal, which doesn't go well against the Sacred Kroxigors' magical attacks. So this doesn't go well for them. Just takes them a while to destroy the cavalry unit, but as long as they don't attack anything else, I'm fine. Already I made Lord Kroak. You can see on the edge there's 2 units of archers melting there. That was because of Lord Kroak. So even though you may not see sometimes the outcome of magic or, you know, of the damage or anything else, like Lord Kroak would already be very powerful just with this shield, because it's 40% ward save. I mean, everything works well with ward save, and let alone the damage that you can put, you know? So sometimes, yeah, it's not only a matter of damage, it's how useful it is to thwarting the enemy's strengths, you know? Or abusing their weaknesses. So overall, they're still fighting, mostly because they have a lot of health. This Tomb Guard halberds are fighting Kroxigors, which is a great target for them. That was 4 on my behalf, but I didn't realize who was here. I was focusing down on the chariots that you see moving all around me, and didn't realize this. So I think at this point I send the crocodiles against the chariots, and I'm trying to focus down the enemy lord there. So Lord Kroak is defending himself, enemy lord is about to get killed, and as soon as he gets killed, I believe that they all start to rout. So that's great. Yeah, you can see the leadership going down because of the army losses. Look at that. I nearly killed him, and the leadership on the Cascade of Souls back there went away. So that's a victory. That's 2 battles. Quite amazing ones with Lord Kroak, actually. Look at that, 3,400. Of course, that's mainly because there's less, powerful units there that I was able to catch. It's not like I did attack 8 units at the same time with the best spell, the nuke that he has. It's kind of like a nuke, really. So, okay, I can get army replenishment, that's for sure. And this just breaches. This is what I call to break the enemy. It's like, at this moment, I feel like I'll always have 2 armies versus 1 of them. And that's a quick conquest, if anything. So, for now, it seems good. I'm gonna go with the Irrepressible and Eternal Guardians. Yeah, you might think that Leadership Aura effect is not a good thing, but that's 10. Okay, so I'm gonna have that later on after I get the best skills for him. So I guess I can auto-resolve this one. Let me see if I can auto-resolve or if I have to fight it. Yeah, there's no casualties, so yeah, why not? Why not? I do want to fight some battles here and there, but I have already fought 2 against the Tomb Kings, and there were big battles, so yeah. I'm considering doing this, where I use 1 turn or 2 of only research with the edicts, and then I use, I go through all the research as fast as I can, and then I go back to the money as I need it to. So, this guy's got a position here, an ambush. You always got to be careful because you never know if there's an army nearby that you haven't accounted for. And Oxyotl will likely teleport to the north and start dealing with Archon from the north. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.